Today is just a fantastic day. I'm recording this on Wednesday, November 20th. Yeah, November 20th. It's been a fantastic day. It's the first day I've actually got to rest since the first day of October. Every day of this month has been, last month and this month has been just hectic. Lots of stuff coming in for me to work on, and it has been fantastic. As you see on the screen, I am now drawing Captain Zero. This is just a quick drawing of him. The anatomy, for some reason, I couldn't get I'm having so much trouble getting that fist right. So after a few attempts, I just finally gave up and said, you know what, I'm just going to go with this, and that's what I did. The other day, I was watching a video online, and they were talking about, how to do, fundraising for your book, or maybe not even do fundraising at all. Now, as you know, I don't do fundraising for my book. I don't do Kickstarter or Indiegogo. I don't do any of those. I don't have property that I think that the general populace would be interested in. But if I did, I have 9 steps I wrote out that may help you, may help me down in the future. I don't know. But step 1 is you got to have an idea. And by this idea, you need to have it planned out, write everything. Get a notebook and just load it with everything about your idea. Not just the brief story synopsis, but does your character smoke? Is your character left-handed or right-handed? What color is your character's eyes? What color is your enemy's eyes? These are all little things that will come into play later on when you're trying to work on something. Well, it's all there. You got it. The next step is to write and illustrate the idea. This is for comics, of course. If you have the ability to write and you have the ability to illustrate, go for it. If you can write but can't draw, trade or hire someone who can. And if you can illustrate but can't write, trade or hire someone who can. Sometimes you could find buddies, hey, Joe Blow over there, I know you know how to write. Would you be interested in trading some old albums if you could write on this? Yeah, I'll do it, yeah. So stuff like that. Once you get everything the way you want it, copyright and trademark it. Now, trademark is a little more complex, but the copyright's pretty straightforward. And so you'll want to do that. That's kind of important. The next thing to do is take like a few pages of it and put these on various web comic pages, like Smack Jeeves or can't remember the rest of them. It was like Duck something. But anyway, all these are is a way to promote what you're doing. And you may even do like 1 page a week just to build the suspense up. So, pick out 5, pages, and this will build up, and you'll talk about it on social media, and you can build it up to this cliffhanger type thing that will make people want to buy the book or invest into the book. That brings us to number 5. Start social media around this idea. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you can get on, whatever platform you can get on. Promote those 5 pages. Promote this idea. Just keep promoting. Keep talking. Keep talking. If you can get on with people who are also creative, maybe trade out, let them talk to you about your stuff and vice versa on social media or in videos like YouTube or Dailymotion or archive.org. Make videos. This is number 6. Make videos reviewing other companies. Spotlight indie creators, but also cover hot new books. This will get the attention of the normal people, the non-comic fans, to take a look, see what you're doing. You can talk about old comics. It doesn't matter. At the end of the video, always mention the progress of your comic, whatever you're doing on it. And also mention that you can read page whatever, which is up on whatever website this week or every Thursday or whatever. Build the suspense, build that audience. Number 7. Now this is something that I come up with, is to rapidly gain money to start making your own books. I wish I had thought of some of these things earlier, but whatever. Collect pre-orders. And always do pre-orders. Cash up front. Nobody saying, well, I'll catch you, when they come in. No. Tell people, hey, this book's going to cost this much. Pay now. It'll be ready. It'll be yours. Blah, blah, blah. You can even do like special ash cans. And you could use, you could take like the folded typing sheets of paper, the 8.5 by 11, fold them in half. So they're 5.5 by 8.5 folded comics. And you can get these, you can print these things up at like most copy shops, and you could have those. And you could even do them low enough where you cover just your shipping and the printing, and you could raise money quickly with something like that. It depends on what kind of deal the copy shop will do for you, but you arrange your price accordingly so you can get a little bit of revenue off of it, maybe like 50 cents or something like that, because it's a half a book, and it has those pages in black and white or whatever, and you sign them, or maybe have a sketch of the next page coming, or a few sketches or clips of what's coming up in the book. The next thing to do, which is my number 8, is not only collect pre-orders, which is a great idea. You'll want to start in those ash cans. You want to start saying, hey, the book is coming up. If you want to get your book, order now. And that's the way you do it. You set it up through a PayPal system or something of that nature. People pay you, and then you send them a receipt and say the book's on the way. And you take the money and go to a print-on-demand service and print out as many orders as that comes in, and try to get a big amount of orders at once, because sometimes you can get a deal on shipping or a deal on printing if it's a whole lot of books, and then you can mail them to the people. And as an added incentive, sign the books, because they're going to come to you first. So sign them, autograph them, whatever you need to do. Maybe have some index cards printed up with an alternate version of the cover. Some little tricks like that. All right, and then number 9, you'll want to start planning for the future. So if the sales do well on these books, you might want to consider doing a graphic collection. So like if you're doing a monthly or a quarterly comic book, as your boy Zach says, floppies, you could collect them into a hardback or a paperback that you could sell as a graphic novel or whatever for a decent price. But all this is just me talking and rambling. And on the screen this whole time, I've just let my drawing skills do its magical thing. And there it is. There's Captain Zero right there on the screen. And you can get it, my Captain Zero graphic novel. There's a link below in the description. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to review some comics. So here we go. Hello, friends, and this is a super quick comic book review. Recently, I was down in Shelbyville, Tennessee with Ricky Blaylock. We did a show there, and a gentleman from an antique store, actually called Robin's Nest, I kid you not, in Shelbyville, Tennessee, had a bunch of comics, and they were a quarter, if you bought 4 a piece, if you bought 4 comics, they're a quarter a piece. Anyway, the first issue of Marvel Boy was there. The thing about this is, I've seen this cover a million times in Wizard magazine, and I just really love this right here. For some reason, that just appealed to me so much back when this came out. That odd belt and that wristband. And so anyway, I read the first issue, and I was like, this has some really, really great artwork in it. And I'd seen J.G. Jones stuff in Black Widow back in the day when I used to hang out with Josh Conley and the crew used to make monster movies on the weekend. Josh had it, and I got to look at it, and I was just like blown away by the artwork. The thing that blows me away about it is the anatomy. And the thing that blew me away about this artwork is that even though it has super awesome anatomy, it also still has that great comic book vibe to it, that comic book look. And anyway, so while I was looking online one night, I found that the whole run of this had been collected, and in this kind of graphic novel format, and there was like a couple of parts in the story that was a little bit confusing, and I had to go back and reread it. It's almost like the first few issues they would talk about something, and it was like maybe the editors felt that they had to cut it or whatever, but later in the book it was explained, and it wasn't like some kind of plot thing or anything like that. It was just simple little things that really would have helped, explaining it, because it made no sense. Truth. It has a very British feel to it, very 2000 AD kind of vibe to it, I thought, and it's my opinion on it. And of course, Grant Morrison, who wrote this story, his writing has that either super surrealistic or very, I don't know, 2000 AD kind of British comic sensibility to it. And let's scooch around in here a little bit. Some really good stuff in here, and I was really impressed. Again, it's still a good book, even despite the shortcomings when it comes to that kind of odd editing. And I'm pretty sure Grant Morrison didn't write it that way. I really felt like it was kind of like an editor got a little trigger happy and pulled some things, and then later kind of went back and said, "Oh, by the way, this was that." Just very 90s. The book has a lot of action in it. It's not too heavy on depth, but that's the fun of the 90s comics. They were drawn really well. The colors were really good. And a lot of action. A whole lot of action. It was like everybody was powerful, and that was just part of the fun. And just a really neat book. I was really impressed with this. Now, I've read it 3 times now, and again, I'm still seeing that odd editing at the beginning of the book, and I don't know what happened there, but, whatever, it doesn't matter. This collection I found on Amazon, got it on the cheap, and I got free shipping, so whatever. Look at that. I mean, this is just really good looking stuff. It's a good story, not great story, but a good story. And there's a lot of like little nods, a whole lot of nods to the Fantastic Four. And while I was reading this, I started thinking about how there was a Marvel Boy pastiche in a character, and I forgot his name. I'm wanting to say Quasar, but I'm not 100% if that's who it was, back in the 70s, who would pop up in the Brick Thing team-up comic books, Marvel team-ups, or Marvel 2-in-1 with the Thing, that's it. And I wonder if it's kind of an homage to that as well. But in the 50s, the original Marvel Boy was created by Bill Everett, the guy who created the Submariner. And there's like some elements that remind me of the original Submariner, such as, his attitude toward humanity in this comic. And you see a lot of that in here. This happened to my people, so I'm taking it out on all of humanity. It's very old, 40s Submariner. And I'm not talking about the modern Submariner from the, 60s and up, where they tamed him down and made him Aquaman, if you will. Nothing wrong with Aquaman, just not my cup of tea. But another thing I want to do is this. I'm going to mention Captain Zero, which is available, links below. Make sure you get your copy.